Well, in 1973, my wife Sarah and I met at Wheaton College, and we were newlyweds, and in Chicago areas where Wheaton is. And my parents, I grew up in Peoria, Illinois, which is several hours south, and we decided to go home there for the weekend. At that time, I wore contact lenses, and I got to Peoria, and I was going to bed, and I realized I had forgotten my contact lens case. So what am I going to do? So I decided to improvise. I got 2 juice glasses, filled them with water, and took my one contact out, put it in the juice glass, took the other one out and put it in, and then I took both juice glasses and placed them on the back of the toilet and went to bed. Don't get ahead of me. So the next morning I awakened, poured the one out, yeah, there it is, and put it in and poured out the other, and there was no second contact. It was nowhere. I mean, I looked at the inside, it was nowhere. So I go out, my wife Sarah's with my mom and dad in the kitchen, and I said, Sarah, did you do anything with those 2 juice glasses on the back of the toilet in the middle of the night or anything? She says, no. Yes, I did. I got up in the middle of the night and took a pill and used one of those juice glasses. She drank my contact. I was in disbelief. I couldn't believe it. I said, I can't believe that you drank my contact. She said, well, I can't believe that you put your contact in a juice glass. Well, I can't believe that you drank out of a juice glass on the back of a toilet. And we had this moment of heated fellowship. And as newlyweds, as a young 20-something, I was angry. I couldn't believe she'd done this, you know? And I'm getting more and more, and my mom and dad are witnessing this, and I'm just, here we are. And at a certain point, Sarah's spirit deflated. Have you ever had a conflict with someone like your spouse or close family member when you have an issue that's going on here, when suddenly the issue is no longer the issue? And you see the spirit of the person deflate? My question is, what is the issue when the issue isn't the issue? Something else was going on in Sarah at that moment, and I'll come back to that in a second. Fast forward, it's Christmas time, and again, we go down to Peoria to be with my mom and dad over Christmas. And Sarah was raised in Indiana. She's a Hoosier. Her dad had over 2,000 acres of corn. She's a farm girl. She was Miss Congeniality of Boone County, and she can do it all, the 4-H stuff and sewing and everything. Well, I didn't know it, but she made me a jean jacket. And this was her special Christmas gift to me, and it was that last gift that you give, right? And so that moment came Christmas morning, and she now hands me her last and the best gift, and she's grinning, and I open it up. It's a jean jacket. And I put it on. I said, thank you. And I'm looking at it, and she said, you don't like it? No, I do like it. You don't like it? She says, Sarah, no, I like it. You don't like it? I said, Sarah, why are you telling me that I don't like it? Because in our family, when we like something, we go, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I said, in our family, we say thank you. And during that moment, my spirit just kind of deflated. And I kind of just disengaged. Why? Because it wasn't about the jean jacket at that moment. And I didn't get in tune exactly with what I was feeling until years later, but I remember that scene. Because you see, the issue wasn't the issue at that moment. Something else was going on in my spirit, and I wasn't totally in tune with what it was. I'm going to share with you today that there are 2 key ingredients for successful relationships, primarily in marriage, the research we're going to point out in just a second, and also what the scripture says, but there is application in any relationship between men and women where you basically care about the other person. It applies because it's really a male and female, not a husband-wife issue. And I'm going to propose to you that when the issue isn't the issue with the woman, there's usually one thing that's going on in her spirit at that moment in time. Just one. See if I can make the case. You don't have to buy into that contention at this point. And when the issue isn't the issue with the man, there's one thing going on in him. And again, just one in most cases. What's fascinating is that they're not the same one thing. That one thing in her is different That one thing in him is different from the one thing in her. And this is why it makes it interesting, because when that spirit deflates, we have a tendency to see them as childish. Oh, brother. Oh, what? Oh. Now what did I say? And I'm not exaggerating with some of you. So what are these two key ingredients that make for successful relationships? The University of Washington studied 2,000 couples. We'll look at the research first. 2,000 couples for 20 years in their love laboratory. And in this love laboratory, they were not only taking copious notes, clinical psychologists and social workers and different things, they were videotaping. They also had husbands and wives connected with what we call BPMs. They were measuring the beats per minute of the heart, the physiology, what was going on, because as people stay in that kind of a situation, you let your hair down and you just kind of are yourself. And they kind of just said, be yourself, you know. And so at a certain point, people just react to each other like they would in the home. They weren't always feeling they were under, supervision. It's just be yourself. And as they got into this, over this 20-year period, they said, we now know the two key ingredients for successful marriages. And when those two ingredients are present, the marriage generally succeeds. When those two are not there, the marriage will fail. And of course, think bell curve here. There's no dogmatic absolute. If they're always present, the relationship will succeed. If they're not, but in the huge, vast, statistically significant way, yeah, these are the two key ingredients. Well, what did they say they were?